Welcome to episode 12 of Hip Hop History. This episode, we will be getting into Melissa Elliott, better known as Missy Misdemeanor Elliott. She was born July 1st, 1971. She is the only child of mother Patricia Elliott, a power company dispatcher, and father Ronnie, a U.S. Marine. Elliott grew up in an active church choir family, and singing was a normal part of her youth. In the later years, she feared no one would take her seriously because she was always the class clown. While living in Jacksonville, North Carolina, Elliott blossomed during this part of her life. She enjoyed school for the friendships and had little interest in schoolwork. She would later get above average marks on intelligence tests and was advanced 2 years ahead of her former class. Her intelligence caused isolation, and she purposely failed, eventually returning to her previous class. When her father returned from the Marines, they moved back to Virginia. Elliott talks about domestic abuse by her father. She refused to stay over at friends' homes out of fear that on her return home she would find her mother dead. Sadly, at the age of 8, she was molested by a cousin. Elliott's mother decided to end the situation and fled with her daughter. The pair had found refuge at a family member's home where their possessions were stored in a loaded U-Haul truck. She later stated, "When we left, my mother realized how strong she was on her own, and it made me strong." In 1991, Elliott formed an all-female R&B group called Phase, later renamed Sista, with friends LaShawn Shellman, Shantae Coleman, and Radia Scott. She recruited her neighborhood friend Timothy Mosley, better known as Timbaland, to be the group's producer and began making demo tracks. Among them included the 1991 promo, First Move. Later in 1991, Phase caught the attention of Jodeci member and producer Devontae Swing, who signed the group to Elektra Records through Devontae's Swing Mob imprint, and also renamed the group Sista. Sista's debut song was titled Brand New, which was released in 1993. Elliott took Mosley, whom Devontae re-christened Timbaland, and their friend Melvin Magoo Barclay along with her. All 20 plus members of Swing Mob, among them future stars such as Genuine and Tweet, lived in a single 2-story house in New York and were working on material for both Jodeci and their own projects. While Elliott wrote and rapped on Rayven Simon's 1993 debut single, That's What Little Girls Are Made Of, she also contributed, credited, and uncredited to the Jodeci albums Diary of a Mad Band and The Show, The After Party, The Hotel. Timbaland and Devontae jointly produced the Sista album entitled For All the Sisters Around the World in 1994. The album was shelved and never released. One of the group's tracks, It's Alright, featuring Craig Mack, did however make the cut on the soundtrack of the 1995 motion picture Dangerous Minds. Swing Mob had folded and many of its members dispersed. Elliott, Timbaland, Magoo, Genuine, and Playa remained together and collaborated on each other's records for the rest of the decade as the musical collective The Super Friends. After leaving Swing Mob, Elliott and Timbaland worked together as songwriter and production team, crafting tracks for acts including SWV, 702, and most notably Aaliyah. The pair wrote and produced 9 tracks for Aaliyah's second album, One in a Million. Elliott contributed background vocals and/or guest raps to nearly all of the tracks on which she and Timbaland worked. One in a Million went double platinum and made stars out of the production duo. Elliott also wrote the bulk of Total's second and final album, Kima, Keisha, and Pam, released in 1998. Sean Puffy Combs had hoped to sign Elliott to Bad Boy. Instead, she signed a deal in 1996 to create her own imprint, The Gold Mine Incorporated, with East and West Records, which at the time was a division of Elektra. Timbaland was again recruited as her production partner, a role he would hold on most of Elliott's solo releases. In the center of a busy period of making guest appearances and writing for other artists, Elliott's debut album, recorded in only a week, Super Duper Fly, was released in 1997. The success of its lead single, The Rain, led the album to be certified platinum. The success was also a result of the music video of her single releases, which were all directed by Hype Williams, who created many groundbreaking hip-hop videos at the time. The album was nominated for Best Rap Album at the 1998 Grammy Awards, but lost to Puff Daddy's No Way Out. The year also saw Elliott perform live at the MTV Video Music Awards on a remix to Lil' Kim's Ladies Night with fellow rapper Da Brat and the Voice of New York turned then rapper Angie Martinez and TLC rapper Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Elliott continued her successful career in the background as a producer and writer on Total's single Trippin', as well as work with several others. Elliott co-wrote and co-produced 2 tracks on Whitney Houston's 1998 album My Love Is Your Love, providing vocal cameos for In My Business and Oh Yes. Although a much darker album than her debut, Elliott's second album was just as successful as her first. Also in 1999, Elliott was featured alongside Da Brat on an official remix to a Mariah Carey single Heartbreaker. Missy Elliott released Miss E, So Addictive on May 15, 2001. The album spawned the massive hits 1 Minute Man featuring Ludacris and Trina and Get Your Freak On. Tweet's appearance on Elliott's Takeaway, as well as her cameo at Elliott's house on MTV Cribs, helped create a buzz about the new R&B singer. Tweet's Elliott's own debut single, Oh My, was co-written by Elliott and released through Goldmine in February 2002. The single was a top 10 hit thanks partially to Elliott's songwriting and to Timbaland's unusual production on the track. Elliott co-produced the Christina Aguilera, Lil' Kim, Maya, and Pink cover of Lady Marmalade for the album Moulin Rouge, music from the Baz Luhrmann film, which went #1 on Billboard Hot 100 in 2001. Next, Elliott and Timbaland focused on an old-school sound, utilizing many old-school rap and funk samples such as Run DMC's Peter Piper and Frankie Smith's Double Dutch Bus for Elliott's fourth album 2002's Under Construction. In 2002, Elliott won a Grammy Award for Best Rap Solo Performance for Get Your Freak On. In 2003, Under Construction received Grammy nominations for Best Rap Album and Album of the Year. Elliott released 2 singles off Under Construction. The lead single, Work It, reached #2 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart and won the Video of the Year award at MTV's Video Music Award. The second single, Gossip Folks, featuring Ludacris, became a top 10 hit on Billboard's Hot 100 chart and was one of the most played music videos on MTV, MTV2, MTV Jams, and BET in 2003, and was embraced by the dance community as well as the mainstream. In between albums, Elliott produced for Madonna, featured on Timbaland and Magoo singles, and produced for herself, Beyonce, Free, and MC Lyte for the soundtrack to Cuba Gooding Jr.'s and Beyonce Knowles movie. Elliott also featured on Wyclef Jean's Party to Damascus and Ghostface Killah's Tush singles. We're going to take a short ad break here and get right back to the show. Thank you for listening to that ad. Now back to the show. Gap approached Elliott later in the year to co-star in a commercial with Madonna. Elliott furthered her relationship with Madonna by performing with Madonna, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera at the 2003 MTV Video Awards. A year after Elliott's most successful album was released, Elliott felt pressured by her label to release another album, hoping to capitalize off her recent success. Elliott's single, Pass That Dutch and I'm Really Hot, from her 5th album, This Is Not a Test, released November 2003, both rose on the charts. Elliott premiered her own reality show on UBN network, The Road to Stardom with Missy Elliott, in 2005. It was not renewed for a second season. Elliott wanted to give people the unexpected by utilizing producers other than Timbaland and a more to-the-center sound, not as far left as her other music. Her 6th solo album, The Cookbook, was released on July 4, 2005. Elliott received 5 Grammy nominations in 2005, including one for Best Rap Album for The Cookbook. The album's first single, Lose Control, won a Grammy for Best Short-Form Video. Lose Control also got Missy 6 MTV VMA Award nominations. She would win Best Dance Video and Best Hip Hop Video. Elliott won Best Female Hip Hop Artist at the 2005 American Music Awards. Respect M.E., Elliott's first greatest hits album, was released outside the United States and Canada on September 4, 2006. The collection became her second top 10 album in the UK and her highest charting album to date, peaking at #7 there. Elliott was an honoree of the 2007 VH1 Hip Hop Honors. In honor of her career, many artists performed some of her biggest hits. The Rain, Hot Boys, Work It, Lose Control, and Get Your Freak On were all performed. Elliott's writing and production helped her reach #1 on Billboard's Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs with Keisha Cole's Let It Go in 2007, Jasmine Sullivan's Need You Bad in 2008, and Monica's Everything to Me in 2010. Since 2008, Missy has produced or written for Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson, Monica, Keisha Cole, and Jasmine Sullivan, who have all received Grammy nominations. In 2011 and 12, Elliott made guest appearances on songs by Demi Lovato, J. Cole, Busta Rhymes, and Katy Perry. She also produced Monica's singles Anything, To Find You, and Until It's Gone. In December 2013, Elliott received a Grammy nomination with Fantasia and Kelly Rowland for their song Without Me. Missy Elliott performed at that year's Super Bowl halftime show with Katy Perry. Elliott performed a medley of Get Your Freak On, Work It, and Lose Control. It became the most watched Super Bowl halftime show in NFL history, receiving 118.5 million viewers in the United States. On November 12, 2015, WTF, or Where They From, produced by Pharrell, and its music video were simultaneously released to digital outlets. On November 19th, the song and its video had been streamed 6.1 million times in the US alone, and an additional count of 16 million views on YouTube. By March 15th, 2016, First Lady Michelle Obama proclaimed that she had assembled a collaborative track featuring vocals from Missy Elliott, Kelly Clarkson, Janelle Monáe, and Zendaya, alongside production credit from pop songwriter Diane Warren and Elliott, titled This Is For My Girls. The iTunes exclusive record will be used to both coincide with Miss Obama's South by Southwest speech and to promote her Third World educational initiative, Let the Girls Learn. In 2018, Elliott appeared on Ariana Grande's song Borderline, taken from the singer's 4th studio album Sweetener. On March 20th, 2019, Lizzo released a collaboration with Elliott titled Tempo. Missy Elliott announced Iconology on August 22nd, several hours before its release. In June 2011, Elliott told People magazine that her absence from the music industry was due to her hyperthyroidism disorder known as Graves' disease. She was diagnosed after she nearly crashed a car from having severe leg spasms while driving. She experienced severe symptoms from the condition, and she could not even hold a pen to write songs. After treatment, her symptoms stabilized. Commercially, Missy Elliott led female hip-hop album sales during the late 1990s and early 2000s and sold more than 7.6 million copies in the United States, and being the female rapper with the best-selling albums in the country until she was beaten by Nicki Minaj. Worldwide, Elliott has sold more than 30 million albums. Elliott's experimental concepts in her music videos changed the landscape of what a hip-hop video had as themes. Her catalog of songs have included themes of feminism, gender equality, body positivity, and sex positivity since the beginning of her career. Missy revolutionized the sound of R&B and hip-hop. On June 13, 2019, Elliott was inducted to the Songwriters Hall of Fame. She was the first female rapper in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. In 2019, Elliott received an honorary Doctorate of Music degree from Berklee College of Music, and she also received the MTV Michael Jackson Vanguard Award. She was the first female rapper to receive the award as well. The same year, Elliott received the Women's Entrepreneurship Day Music Pioneer Award at the United Nations in recognition for her achievements in music and being a leader. This award was placed in the Congressional Record and will remain in history always. In 2002, Elliott wrote a letter on behalf of PETA to the mayor of her hometown, Portsmouth, Virginia, asking that all shelter animals be neutered or sprayed before being adopted. In 2007, Elliott appeared on ABC's Extreme Makeover and awarded 4 scholarships for the weight loss program for underprivileged teens. Missy has had several classics and changed the game forever. Let's go over her discography now. In 1997, she released Super Duper Fly. In 1999, she released The Real World. In 2001, Miss E, So Addictive. 2002, Under Construction. 2003, This Is Not a Test. In 2005, The Cookbook. And in 2019, Iconology. She also has an illustrious career and features including songs for Rayven Simon, New Edition, SWV, Total, Timbaland, Memphis Bleak, Janet Jackson, Tweet, Faith Evans, Sierra, Christina Aguilera, Keisha Cole, Jasmine Sullivan, Genuine, J. Cole, Fantasia, Fall Out Boy, and Lizzo, to name a few. Missy has produced for many artists as well: Tweet, Monica, Normani, Jasmine Sullivan, Jennifer Hudson, Keisha Cole, Sierra, Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, TLC, Trina, NSYNC, Destiny's Child, Jodeci, and Whitney Houston, to name a few. Missy Elliott has received 5 Grammy Awards, 10 MTV Awards, 2 American Music Awards, 6 BET Awards, as well as the MTV Michael Jackson Vanguard Award, and being the first female rapper in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Thank you for listening to this episode of Hip Hop History on Missy Elliott. Please like and subscribe and leave a review if possible. Thank you.